Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bella with chrisbella.com. And today I want to talk about my New Year's resolutions and goals. So I opened it up on Instagram recently and I started asking questions like, hey, what kind of topics do you guys want me to cover? I need more content for the year. I want to start doing 2 episodes a week and I'm obviously going to need more topics to talk about. So, with that being said, I have several new ideas that rolled in and I noted them down. I'm going to be releasing some episodes here addressing some of those. And as I continue to do the podcast this year in 2020, I'll continue to post that question on Instagram stories. So, as more listeners and more followers come in, follow me, they can contribute to future podcast topics that they want to hear me talk about and do some research on. So this topic is on New Year's resolutions. Someone asked me, what is your New Year resolution? Or I guess, what are your New Year's resolutions? And I replied back on my story in public, just saying I don't really believe in New Year resolutions. I've talked about this before on the show. I personally think that whatever the statistics are, 90% of people give up within the first 2 weeks or the first month or whatever crazy statistics out there. And I don't know how they measure it, but I totally believe it because you see the gym get super crowded for a month or two and then people fall off. People try to take on too much too quickly and they're not quite measuring the correct things, and that's why they fall off. So I would say that I don't really have a New Year resolution because I don't believe in it exactly, but I do have goals. I guess that is kind of like a resolution, or those are resolutions, the fact that I have goals. They are very specific and measurable. I have everything dialed in like crazy. I have a daily task tracker where I can see that so far I'm on track to hit most of my goals. So I had a lot of goals in 2019, like way too many, where it was kind of convoluted. And a funny thing is that if I had just focused on the income goal, that would have taken off like 5 or 6 goals that I had. Like I wanted to travel to 4 domestic places and 2 international places. That obviously requires money. So if I just focus on making more money and doing more deals, closing more transactions in real estate, those other goals are taken care of. So with that in mind, this year I got very laser focused, and here are my goals for the year. My daily task tracker is cool because every day I log my activities, if I worked out, how many pages I ran, and it tells me if I'm on track to hit my goal or not by the end of the year at the rate that I'm at now. It takes into account the number of days remaining in the year, the number of days that have passed in the year, and all that good stuff. So far, one of my goals is to have a morning routine, do a morning routine every single day this year. I did it every single day last year in 2019, didn't miss a day while on vacation, while sick, while I didn't feel like it. I did it every single day. Now, there were some days where I did a 15-minute routine instead of a 1 hour routine, but most days were about an hour. So I want to do a morning routine every single day, whether it's a 10-minute one or a 1 hour one. Exercise, I want to work out 4 times a week, so that's 20 times a month, which would come out to 240 times a year. And this in 2019, I had a goal to read 10,000 pages, and I think I hit like 6,200 or something around there. So this time I adjusted the goal. I know I've said the Grant Cardone quote before, never lower your target, increase your actions, but I still stretched it past what I hit this year. I want to read 8,000 pages this year. And if I do the math on that, I'm assuming each book is about 250 pages, so 8,000 divided by 250, that'd be about 32 books. Whereas this year I read like 25, I want to read 32 this year. And sure, maybe I'll push for more. I will. I need to just up the amount of time that I'm spending reading. So that's another goal. And then when it comes to real estate, I want to close 35 transactions this year. So I want to help 35 people buy or sell a house in the Houston and Greater Houston area. It's very specific. I didn't tie a dollar amount to it because it's kind of different depending on the deal, right? I may have one friend, like on my whiteboard over here, one friend is buying a $309,000 house, the other friend's buying a $189,000 house. So the $309,000 one, it looks like after the broker splits and the commissions and stuff, the commission's closer to 5,562, whereas on the $189,000 house, it's 3,420. So that's why I don't really want to compare because I'm not going to necessarily say no to someone if they want a cheaper house than somebody else. With that said, that's my real estate goal for this year. If I can hit that goal, if I can do 35 transactions, my goal is, I'm assuming average sales price of 300,000 just in the middle times 35 transactions, that's $10,500,000 of real estate. If I do that, my gross commission before all the broker splits is $315,000. So that's what I'm shooting for this year. Now, if I get a couple higher listings, like right now I have a 400 $10,000 listing. We just dropped the price to $399, but now you can see how there's going to be a few that skew up and a few that skew down. So that is my goal, 35 real estate deals, buy or sell. And for my podcast, my goal is to create 52 new episodes. I want to make one episode every single week. And I actually just talked about that in the last episode. I'm thinking about upping that to 2 a week. I'm just going to 10x it. Well, not 10x it because I don't want to do 10 a week, but I am going to increase the amount of output and the amount of content I'm putting out. And then I do have a goal to be on 50 podcast shows as a guest this year, just to continue to grow my audience, to bring more people over into my world, people who resonate with my message. So those are my goals. Notice how they are SMART goals. They are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. I'm pretty sure that's what SMART stands for, something like that. But that's how your goals should be. Again, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't think you should make ridiculous goals that are not seemingly realistic to you, because then you're going to give up and you're not going to have a way to accurately measure it. You really need to measure it to the T, as detailed as you can get. Get very, very, very specific on what you need to do, the actions that you need to take to get those goals done. So that is a quick, short recap of my goals for this year. Super simple. I mean, obviously, I want to do other things as well. Like part of my morning routine includes meditating, and of course, the workouts I vary between weightlifting and yoga and jogging and sit-ups. So I'm keeping things a little variable in there. I'm counting anything, even like a 20-minute walk, I'm counting that as a workout. I'm working on doing more walking every single day, especially when the weather's beautiful. Just get outside and walk for 10 or 15 minutes. Unplug, leave your technology at home, and just think about problems that you're working on solving, and solutions will start to come to you in that time if you just let your mind be at peace for a little bit. At least that's what I'm finding for myself. What are some of your goals that you're working on? I'd be very curious to find out. I know a lot of you guys have been sending me DMs, thanking me for the podcast, telling me Happy New Year. Thank you so much for all those messages. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what your goals are. What are you struggling with? Do you have any questions that you want me to answer on the podcast for you? Any specific guests that you think I should bring on? I am open to considering future interviews and looking for new people to leverage their knowledge and get a lot of great content, as well as learn new things myself. So everybody have a great week, or a great rest of your week. I guess I have to adjust that now if I'm going to be doing 2 podcasts a week. I'm used to doing the Monday weekly podcast where I'm like, have a great week, talk to you next week. But if I'm doing, I think I'm going to do Monday, Thursday, so it's going to be like, well, have a great weekend and rest of your week. I'll talk to you later on the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to this. But catch me on the next episode of the Entrepreneur Podcast. Continue to reach out, give me suggestions on content you want to hear, and I will be more than happy to create it for you. Don't forget to leave a review. If you enjoy this message, please share it with a friend. That helps me grow my audience, grow my reach, and continue to get inspired as I touch more and more people and make positive change in their lives. They reach out to me, and it just further reiterates. I mean, that cycle just continues to go back and forth of me trying to add as much value as I can, others thanking me for the value that I've provided to them, and then me getting that motivation to continue to put out more content. Talk to you all later, and thanks again for tuning in.